You never know what you're going to find.
In the attic.
True. In the attic. You never know.
Well, hopefully they find someone who knows the person who wrote it.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Definitely is. All right. Speaking of possibilities.
Hey.
The weather. It's filled with possibilities.
Always filled with possibilities around here. Anything can happen, but today, the sunshine and the hazy skies. That's what's going to happen for us. So not a lot of change out there for you. As you can see, though, you may have noticed more of that haze. You know, we did get a little bit of a break from some of the haze earlier this week, but it is back now in full force. The reason for that is because that big dome of high pressure is shifting from the west coast basically directly over Utah. So that's going to help to keep a little bit more of those pollutants close to the surface. So that's why we're seeing a little bit more haze. But again, checking the air quality levels themselves, they're not that bad. In fact, we've got pretty much things still sitting in the moderate category. So nothing that's going to cause too many health issues, but obviously we don't like to necessarily see this here. But again, some moderate areas of air quality here popping up, especially a few hot spots, one just around the Murray area, another one out towards northern Salt Lake as you get up towards the western half of the area over towards the airport, and then making your way up towards North Salt Lake, seeing some of that as well. All right, here's a look at your current temperatures. We're in the 40s, low 40s up towards Cache Valley, upper 40s and low 50s now along the Wasatch Front. We've got 40s and 50s down towards I-70, over towards the Uintas, and then back over towards the West Desert. 50 degrees in Blanding right now, and 57. That's pretty nice in St. George. All right, the winter warmth continues. That ridge of high pressure still situated over the western half of the country, but as I mentioned, it is beginning to slide a little further to the east, which is what's allowing for, again, less in the way of some of those high clouds in the sky that we saw the past couple of days. More just straight sunshine with this hazy conditions out there, and temperatures some 10 to 15 degrees above average once again for today. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 50s across northern Utah, near 60 here in Nephi and Delta, 56 degrees at Price, 52 over towards Vernal. You're heading over towards Grand County, Moab, you're at 59 today, 57 degrees in Escalante, 61 in Beaver, and 59 degrees in Cedar City. So 60 degrees or so around the I-70 corridor and point south, and then you'll get closer to 70 degrees in lower Washington County this afternoon. As far as Futurecast goes, again, not tracking much. High pressure right on top of us, sinking air acts as a lid, no clouds, just some hazy conditions out there across the area. That'll be the case for the rest of this afternoon. High pressure will slide to the east, though, heading into the weekend. So Friday, it pushes east. That will allow for this low pressure to our south to spin in a few more clouds. So we'll call it partly cloudy skies for your Friday. Now, the Futurecast trying to squeeze out a little moisture. I think the air is going to be pretty dry for that, but there could be some scattered clouds from Friday into Saturday, but for the most part, we're talking partly cloudy at best. Otherwise, high pressure builds in again for Sunday, but starting to see some changes with more moisture and a storm system going to our north and west, a little bit of an atmospheric river to our north and west. I hope that some of that moisture tries to make its way here in the Utah. We need it. Look at the snowpack again, a lot of oranges and reds on the map. That's not good. I mean, it's a little better up towards the Bear River range where you're 70% or so, but again, it's just not really good right now across the state. So high pressure, that's the reason why we've had it for the past month or two now with very warm and dry conditions underneath that high pressure. But all signs points to a cold front moving through as we head towards the beginning of next week. And it's not so much the cold front itself that's going to bring us a big drop in temperatures or a big chance of precipitation. It's what happens after the front moves through. We get a big west coast trough that develops, and that brings in colder and unsettled weather conditions across the area. Now, as I mentioned earlier, it's still too early to get specific on exact details and what type of precipitation. I mean, we know we're going to have some mountain snow. Will we see some snow in the valleys? How much rainfall will we see out of the system? Again, still too early to go into the full details, but there is the chance of some winter weather, and the chance continues to increase here heading into next week. Along with that chance of winter weather, there's just a chance of seeing some precipitation, and we could use that as well with measurable precipitation looking likely next week. And it could be multiple opportunities, as this is the outlook for the next 2 weeks, showing us here continued chances of increasing of that wetter than average conditions across the area. We'll keep you posted. St. George near 70 today, 60s heading into the weekend with a few extra clouds. And then we'll cool it down more heading towards the middle of next week with that chance of moisture finally developing. The Wasatch Front, hazy sunshine, mid to upper 50s through Friday. The weekend looking pretty good with sunshine. And then notice as we head into next week, more active weather along with colder weather.